And Mrs. Parker and little Timmy O'Rourke. Cute kid. Nice kid when he's asleep. No, we're closed. Okay, okay, you win. Oh, Dr. Graham.
Hiya. Lulu, isn't it?
No, it's Lucille.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Lucy. Sorry. Is Dave here?
Dr. Phillips?
That's right.
No, he isn't. If you read the sign on the door, you'd realize the clinic's closed.
Well, yes, but you're here. Dave could be just as well.
Well, he isn't. But please do come in and keep me company.
Well, do you know where I might find him?
No, he's probably at his apartment, though.
Well, where's that?
I'm real sorry. I really can't give out that kind of information unless I'm given permission.
Well, that's very commendable. You don't find many people like you these days. You know, I hope that Dave and Ben realize what a splendid employee they have in you. No. I think it's even more than an employee. It's a very good friend and co-worker.
You know what? I get the very strong impression that you're trying to butter me up.
Now, why would I do a thing like that?
I really don't know.
Well, then, why don't you tell me what his address is?
Okay, look, everybody, hey. Listen, now we've all made a lot of mistakes in trying to retrieve this Dar Slum Bible in the past. So I think the best thing for us to do right now is put all of that behind us and just move on.
Okay, Gina's right. We're gonna have to cooperate. We're gonna have to set up a plan. Now, before any of you agrees to go along with this, I want to tell you that any action that we take could be dangerous. So I don't want anybody involved that doesn't have to be. So now, if anybody feels uncomfortable with this, now is the time to bow out.
Wait a minute, everybody, hey.
Hey, John.
Jeremy has something to say.
I just want to say, excuse me, that I'm willing to cooperate with you on anything you want to do here. I feel responsible for Lance, and I'd like to see him get caught and get the Bible back as soon as possible.
Okay, Jeremy. Thank you.
Because I want you to know, I've been with this Dar Slum Bible story from the start, and I certainly want to be here when the whole thing is wrapped up.
And you know how I feel, John. No one wants to see Lance put back in prison more than I do. I'll do anything to see these busted. And I want that Bible back, too. So that Dave can get the proceeds from it so he can start working on that clinic that he's been wanting to do.
Look, Russ, I want your help, and I appreciate it. I just don't want it if this is some way to get back at Lance, because we need cool heads here. We cannot be out to settle a score.
Sure. I know that.
Now, John, I gotta say something. This is a police matter. It's not something for amateurs, which is what we are, except for you. This is police business. I don't care what Captain Seagate says. I think we ought to call him up, tell him that I've petitioned the State Department to have the princess's diplomatic immunity revoked. Now, that ought to pressure him into at least sending some police officers to the revival.
But Harold, listen to me, Harold. The only way we're gonna move Seagate is if he gets direct word from the State Department. Until that happens, his hands are tied.
Harold, John is absolutely right. We don't have the time to wait around for an official response. We've got to come up with a plan now and fast.
No, wait a minute, hold on. No, I think Harold's made a valid point, though. We're not trained for this sort of thing. And it's possible that somebody can get hurt. And I don't mean just us. I mean other people at the revival.
John, catching Lance is a job for the police.
We're not arguing that point, Terry. All I'm saying is there's too much red tape to cut through. Lance is out there somewhere, and unless we catch him, there's a lot of people that are never going to be comfortable going to sleep at night.
Okay. All right, let me just make a couple of points here. Now, The thing that we've got to keep uppermost in our minds is everybody's safety.
That's right.
Let's just take a look at what's happened in the last few weeks. Jeremy's life was in danger. Terry was kidnapped. Her life was on the line. There are other people here who have faced the possibility of getting hurt or killed. Now, fortunately, everybody's all right, but why take the chance of putting anybody else's life on the line again?
Well, wait a second now. Nobody's being forced to be involved in this. Whoever doesn't want to be involved doesn't have to be.
I know that. I just don't think anybody should take any unnecessary chances.
I agree with Harold. We have no business sticking our necks into something that the police should be taking care of. I mean, it's not our business.
Wait a minute. What? You didn't feel that way when you were posing as the princess? Now, what's this all about?
That's because I didn't know any better. But surely, I mean, the police would do something if we all went down to the station together.
Look, is this all we're gonna do?
Here.
Argue about whether or not we should do something? Well, I don't know about the rest of you people, but I'm gonna go to that revival tonight. And if there's a chance that I can catch Lance and get that Bible back, I'm gonna take it.
That's the kind of thing that's gonna get you killed.
Come on, man. Be stopped here. He has to be stopped, and this is the only way to
Would you listen to yourselves? Now, you have been talking and talking and talking. Where's it gotten you? And you're probably going to spend the next hour saying the very same things over again, and for what? There is nothing you can do that's going to make a bit of difference. Why doesn't everybody just simply face that fact and call off all this stupid nonsense?
Ben, where are you going?
Home.
Excuse me, please.
Well, I got to reiterate my position that we shouldn't take any action that could put anybody in any danger.
Look, Harold, no one's gonna tell me what to do. I wanna make a difference. And I say we should go for it. And I say that anybody that's with me, we settle on a plan. And we settle on it now.
I agree with Rush.
Better than sitting around here doing nothing.
I can assure you, Lucy, that I wasn't trying to butter you up. All the compliments that I give are sincere.
Oh, okay. My name is Lucille.
Lucille. Right.
So tell me something. What is it you want to see Dr. Phillips about?
Well, it has to do with one of my patients. It's a GYN problem. I was hoping Dave might be able to help me.
It's kind of strange.
Why is that?
Well, it's just strange that with all the OBGYNs, you must know that you'd want to consult a doctor that hadn't even practiced in that field for over 4 years. I know. You just happen to be in the neighborhood, right?
I get the feeling that you don't like me.
Well, nobody said you were stupid.
Now, why is that, Lucille?
Thank you.
What is there about me that you don't like?
Oh, you don't want me to answer that.
Oh, yes, I do, and I want you to please be candid.
Well, remember you asked for it.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Graham. Well, I guess my objections with you are really more with the kind of medicine you practice than with you personally. But I still don't think you should have offered Dr. Martin that ski trip.
I thought Ben wanted to go. What's wrong with having a little fun?
Nothing. But Mrs. Martin didn't want to go. Didn't you know her mother had been kidnapped?
Oh, yes. Well, now that you mention it, yeah.
Well, your offer caused a lot of unnecessary problems between Dr. and Ms. Martin. And that was not the first time.
You're referring to the car repair? Believe it or not, Lucille, usually when I offer to help a friend, I get some kind of appreciation. Now, with Ben and Lori, all I seem to get are accusations that I'm causing trouble.
Well, maybe it seems that way. But my problems are with your practice.
All right, then what do you have against plastic surgery?
Nothing. It's just where you practice it. The Bedford Institute.
Okay, now what do you have against Bedford?
Okay, well, for one thing, the Institute specializes in superficial medicine. For another thing, I read about those 3 women that died under mysterious circumstances there.
Something tells me it's going to be difficult to explain this to your satisfaction, but will you let me try?
Okay. Give it your best shot.
Now, it's true. Clients of the Bedford are, for the most part, very wealthy, and the surgery is elective. But the work that we do is no less important. Now, what we try to do is to boost the self-image of our patients, whether it's a facelift or breast augmentation, whatever. Now, Lucille, there's nothing wrong with wanting to improve someone's self-image, is there?
No. Guess not.
Yeah, I consider myself the surgical equivalent of a psychiatrist. You know, and psychiatry used to be frowned upon, too.
Yeah, that's true.
And frankly, Lucille, well, I'm a little surprised at you.
Oh? What?
Because you are a professional, but you seem to be resisting all the advances that we've made in plastic surgery. Now, why is that? Why is it that advances in medicine are always met with such resistance from both inside and outside the profession.
Yeah. Okay. What you're saying makes a lot of sense. And I probably haven't given your specialty enough thought. And I do want to hear more about it. But what about those 3 mysterious deaths?
Ah, yes, those 3 deaths. You know, Ben questioned me about that, too. And I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked him. How many of the clinic's patients have died in the last 6 months?
I get your point.
But nobody makes a big deal of that because they were poor.
Yeah, but what about the circumstances?
Those 3 suicides were consistent with the psychological profiles of the women involved. Now, that is a fact that the media has conveniently ignored. Now, Lucille, I don't want to minimize their deaths. All I want is for the facts to be known.
Okay. You certainly can be persuasive.
Does that mean that you're starting to change your opinion of me?
I'm working on it. Tell me something. Have you ever fixed anybody that's famous, like movie stars or TV stars?
Well, as a matter of fact, I've done quite a few. Let's
Really?
see. Well, I guess I can tell you, but you have to remember that this is confidential.
Of course. What have you done?
Well, let's see. There's Margot Chadwick, Loretta Simone, Connie Fontaine.
Connie Fontaine?
Yes.
What'd you do to her?
Let's see, I've done 2 facelifts, and I've, well, taken assorted tucks in other parts of her body.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's why she looks so good? I was wondering why she looks the way she does, and I look the way I do. I mean, we're exactly the same age.
Really?
Yeah. Tell me something. Do facelifts work on just average people?
Oh, absolutely. You know, in fact, celebrities make up only a very small percentage of my practice.
Well, how about, like me, for example? Can anything be done?
Okay, we're all set then, right? Russ, Jeremy, Gene, and I are going to the revival.
Yeah, I wish you'd reconsider.
Wait a minute, Dave. I'm afraid we've already made up our minds.
Well, then I'd like to talk to you privately about that.
Wait, now, Carla, it's important that I be there, and you're just going to have to understand that.
Fine, then it's important for me to be there, too.
No, I agree with what you said earlier. I think you should stay here.
If you're going, I'm going. And at the very least, if you do something I don't like, I'll sit on you. And at the most, if push comes to shove, that princess will be no match for me, okay?
You're right. We should talk about this in private.
Good.
The fact that I'm going too.
No, you're not. I'm sorry, but Lance is going to be there. There'll be a lot of danger. I can't take that risk.
No, oh, wait, okay, just think about this. It's going to be very, very crowded there. I'll just be one of many people. Lance wouldn't even notice me
No,
there.
I can't take that chance. I can't risk that with
Jeremy, I want to be with you. I want to help you if I can.
you. You know?
I do, and if nothing else,
No.
just think, I'll be there and I'll be praying all the while.
No, of course. No. See, you got no
Okay, everybody, coffee.
Oh, Terry, thank you very much. I'm afraid it's going to have to be a quick cup, though.
Getting ready to leave now?
Yeah, I think we're just
Yes.
about ready.
None for me.
Okay.
Okay, the plan of action is this. Okay, Russ and Jeremy are going to try and find Lance, and Gene and I will try and find the princess.
So is anybody else coming?
Not me. I've had enough excitement over that Dar es Salaam. But you'll have my prayers.
Mine too.
Thanks.
You better count me out, too.
Well, I have to go.
Mom, I really wish you wouldn't go.
Oh, now, Gene, you know I have to go. The Reverend Guthrie's counting on me.
I'll be there too.
All right.
Yeah, somebody's got to be the voice of reason.
Well,
I'm going to regret this.
thanks, Harold. I think we're just about ready now, aren't we?
Just one more suggestion.
What's that?
Why don't you get a couple of your plainclothes friends off duty to join us down there? I'd feel a whole lot better with a couple of more professionals.
That's a good
beside
idea.
you.
I like that.
All right, fine. There's still a couple of guys down there who owe me some favors. I can get them be down there unofficially. Terry, can I use the phone?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
Excuse me, John.
Good idea there.
I don't think it's a good idea for Miriam and Carla to go there. I don't like the idea. I think with the situation that Miriam's been through, it's really not a very good thing.
Look, I can't force Miriam not to go. I don't have the authority. Besides the fact the revival is an open public place. I tell you what I will do, though. I'll make sure she gets a lot of protection, all right?
All right.
You two seem to be getting pretty serious with each other.
What? Miriam and me?
Yeah.
I don't know if serious is the right word.
All right, then call it chemistry. I can see it.
Now look up, please. And look down. Okay, now to the right. And to the left. Okay, now I want to check back here. Put your head down just a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Well, don't spare me. I've been used to bad news.
Are you serious about having something done?
No. Me? Don't be silly.
Hey, now wait a minute. I don't allow that with my patients. No disparaging remarks.
Well?
Lucille, the feelings and the impulses that you have are valid. You don't need any justification for facelift, other than you want to feel good about yourself. Yeah, and I'm not going to pressure you. But I want you to know that, well, I think that a facelift would do wonders for you.
Do you really?
Yes. And I want you to promise me something.
What?
Well, that when, oh, and I do mean when, not if, you decide to have something done, well, you'll come to me. Is it a deal?
Okay. I really wouldn't count on me going through with anything like this, but it's a deal.
Oh, Scott.
He's fine. You know, he's really taken a liking to Mrs. Sanderson.
Hmm.
Are you going to go look in on him?
Later.
Well, he might be asleep by then.
I'll look in on him later, isn't that what I just said?
Yes.
Then why do I always have to explain myself?
Ben, I thought that you might want to look in on Scotty before he goes to sleep because he hasn't seen you all day.
Oh, is that it? Now I'm not being a good father?
What? That is not what I said.
That's what you meant, though, isn't it?
Look, Ben, I do not want this tension to keep going on between us.
Neither do I.
Okay, then let's get things out in the open.
I already know what you're going to say. It's about the trip to Vail.
Yeah, I don't think that we should have gone.
And of course you blame me for that.
No, I don't. No, I do not blame you. But I don't know what's going on inside of you, and it worries me.
I've had a lot of things on my mind, Laura, you know that.
Yeah, of course I do. And I want to help you, if you'll let me. Ben, look, I know you have a lot of very important decisions to make. So why don't you discuss them with me? It'll help to talk them over.
Well, as a matter of fact, there's nothing to talk over.
Nothing?
I've already made my decision. I talked with Dave earlier, and I told him that I'm going to give him my resignation first thing in the morning.
What?
Now, you knew I was going to call Southern Chemical and accept the position they offered in Dallas. You knew that. We discussed it on the airplane.
But I didn't expect that you would act so soon.
Well, why not? You agreed with me, didn't you?
I agreed because I thought... So how did Dave take it?
All right, I think. We both said a few things that we didn't mean, but I think he's accepted it.
Well, then I guess I'll have to accept it too.
All right.
Hey, hold you guys. Russ, I want you and Jeremy to go out backstage and look around for Lance.
Will do.
Okay, Jeremy, hold on. I want you to stick close to Russ so nobody mistakes you for Lance, all right?
All right.
Go to it.
John.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna have a run, look-see outside around the grounds and everything. I'll be back in a minute, all right?
All right.
Okay.
Isn't that Janice?
Yes, that is. Miriam, how would you like to meet the Princess Star Slum, alias Janice Wright?
Yes, I think I would.
Come on. Excuse me, hey, Janice?
Oh, Jean, I didn't expect to see you here.
I'm sure you didn't. What brings you to the revival?
Oh, just covering the story for the paper.
Yes, oh, excuse me, Janice, what kind of angle are you using, by the way?
Angle. Yes. Revival as a slice of American life. Yes.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Oh, it is.
Hey, anything happening outside?
Nothing suspicious. What about in here?
As far as I can tell, there's nobody here except the princess. And Jean's keeping her busy.
Praise the Lord! Praise the Lord! Children, praise the Lord! Yes, yes. In tonight's revival, the topic of our sermon is going to be the sovereignty of God's Word. Amen! I said the sovereignty of God's Word. And what better example can we use tonight than this beautiful antique Bible that has been given as a donation by an anonymous benefactor? Say amen! Yeah.